Welcome to Our Kids, sponsored by Jefferson County Public Schools. I'm Atherton High School correspondent Elizabeth Satterly. This August, we are taking a look back at some of our favorite stories from the past school year. Let's start by checking out the $42 million renovation at the Academy at Shawnee.
I'm Chester King. I graduated from Shawnee in 1971. Actually came to Shawnee in 1965. This was a middle school. So I came back as a security guard in 98 or 99. I actually came to the third floor and saw how bad shape it was in. Lockers in the middle of the hallway, chalkboards on the floor, floors tore up. It was in bad shape.
Never been up here before. It's crazy to me. It really looked to me like a ghost tour, you know, like an old prison or something. That's really what it reminded me of.
We've come a mighty long way, but we're here. And this renovation opens the door for more facility and educational success. It's important for our students. I like you all, but I love those two people over there because that's what education is all about.
I've seen some work done to the bathrooms, bigger rooms. I hope it brings more people to really think about coming to this school because this school is a great school, so I hope it changed some people's minds.
I'm seeing a completely different look from what I saw 8-9 years ago. This is modern, the floors have been redone. It makes my heart flutter because Shawnee was a dying school as far as I was concerned, and now I'm seeing life put back into it, and I hope enrollment goes up. Hopefully they'll see a new school and want to come back to Shawnee and get Shawnee back on the map like it should be.
I always knew it was a third floor. I just never really got any details about it.
It's really cool to see these plain white walls, and that's because I think it's a really cool thing for students to get to leave their mark on the school in a sense. And we're going to have a whole new generation of kids that are going to get to leave posters or artwork, stuff like that behind. It just shows me that they really care, and like I said, you can tell when you come here that the teachers and staff really care about students.
Because we have done this, it is more accessible, more appealing for staff, family, and the Shawnee community. To our Shawnee students, please never forget that you deserve the best, always.
Let's start with the groundbreaking of a new school in West Louisville. The new state-of-the-art elementary school will be connected to the YMCA on West Broadway.
And now we have the opportunity to build the first school this century since the turn of the century in West Louisville. And I'm so happy and pleased to be standing here to bring that to you today.
I want a classroom with bright windows and lots of friends and lots of teachers and computers, new computers for Wheaton Elementary School, and a bright classroom with lots of windows. Thank you for the new school at Wheaton Elementary School. I can't wait, yes.
They're going to be in a brand new school building with innovative learning spaces, lighting that supports learning, wide hallways, great technology, access to all the services that the Y provides and those wraparound services. So just imagine what it's going to be like on day one for these young people to walk into this brand new school building after they've been in a school building that probably needed to be condemned several decades ago.
And now to see the beautiful rendering over here of what this is going to look like tying into the health center at the YMCA. These are actions that dreams are made of.
Our students will have an amazing opportunity to work with the YMCA. YMCA is truly student-focused. For our community members from the California and Russell communities, the history of Roosevelt Perry and Phyllis Wheatley will remain.
Collaboration is not just a project, it's intended to expand opportunities, broaden choices for the children and families of the school and ultimately the broader community, and add value to the education experiences through collaboration.
This partnership will be a difference maker for students in this community.
This building is going to be organized around a large lobby with a flanking cafeteria, and most of the family and community serving facilities within this building will be just to your left over here along this hallway along Maple Street. And the two-story classroom building will be along the Dixie Highway 18th Street corridor.
And the school is probably very, very nice, and it's probably a good school too, just like elementary school, and I can't wait to go there.
Let's take a look at how the vaccine clinics for our JCPS students ages 5 through 11 went at some of our 24 school sites.
Pretty much just to stay safe.
Because my brother did it and I wanted to do it too.
We're here this morning to kick off our weekend of vaccinations for 5 to 11-year-olds. And of course, anybody who's interested in being vaccinated, it's available throughout the city today. It's just one of those things we've been waiting for, lots of anxiety over our younger children and protecting them. The vaccines are a life-saving measure and so important for people to be vaccinated. And so it's just very exciting for this day to have arrived and for our younger kids to have the opportunity to be vaccinated.
I wanted him to get the COVID shot because, just about everyone in the household's been vaccinated, and I was glad that children his age were able to get vaccinated. And COVID's hit us pretty hard earlier in the year. It took my dad away. So it was really important to me to get everyone vaccinated.
I really tried to keep him away from playing with other kids in the neighborhood. So when his brother, who's in middle school, finally got vaccinated, he was like, I want to get vaccinated. So when JCPS said they had it, I was like, great, we're just going to go to school and get it done.
Now that it's open to the younger children, it's very important that we get started on the vaccination series. I think the most important aspect of this is recognizing that our children are our future, and we definitely need to protect them. But we also need to protect our loved ones and our elderly. We're going to have families getting together here in a short few weeks. And it's going to be really necessary for us to continue to do the right thing when it comes to keeping ourselves and our families healthy.
It's a huge relief to have our little card in my hand. I was worried because I just didn't know. So this is giving me a little sense of security.
Ready?
I'm here to get my COVID shot. I think it's important for me to get my shot so I don't catch COVID and get sick.
I'm a registered nurse, so I know the ramifications of not being vaccinated. So I want my daughter to have the opportunity to go back to ballet, to cheerleading, and all of those good things. And if she was to catch COVID, she would not get as sick due to being vaccinated.
Vaccine kind of gives you a less dangerous version of the COVID, and then once your body is ready to fight the COVID, it'll kill it.
Did you feel it?
Yeah, I feel it.
Did you? I didn't feel it at all.
It's very important to have our kids vaccinated during this time, especially with the new variant coming out. We don't know how it's going to affect us, and if needed, they're old enough to get the booster.
JCPS bus drivers drove 20 buses loaded with donated items to Western Kentucky to assist families impacted by recent tornadoes in the area. The items were collected as part of the Stuff the Bus campaign.
And here at JCPS, we immediately jumped at the chance to be able to help and support those who've been impacted by the tornadoes. So for those of you who saw our Stuff the Bus campaign in action, you know how moving it was. You know how much it meant to the community to be able to play some part in helping out one another.
We're all connected, and we felt like, there was a need, and we just wanted to help.
I just wanted to help out.
It's for people that don't have anything.
Diapers, baby food, canned food, boxed food, tarps. They're going to Glendale first because that is a place where we can store some of the items, the supplies that were collected.
I'm just excited to be here today to recognize this community for stepping up, specifically the JCPS family for stepping up. And we ended up with 19 buses full of supplies for the families, educators, the community of Western Kentucky. And it just makes me proud to be a part of this JCPS family. Just to see 19 buses are going to be rolling down I-65 to support our families. And of course, our JCPS bus drivers stepped up, which is this awesome group of people on their holiday, their vacation, time away. They're stepping up to drive these buses.
Bowling Green is my hometown, so it's an honor to be able to represent JCPS and our community for this community service. I appreciate the opportunity.
It's personal to me because my daughter's a student down at WKU.
This is truly an honor to be able to take time out today to represent JCPS and the other bus drivers in the other departments today.
of the areas that was hardest hit is some of our neediest families in the Bowling Green area.
Diapers, go where we started.
Paper, tissue paper, toilet paper, right here, miscellaneous in this room.
You can take food directly into that room.
Thank you guys so much for the work that you did. Public schools take care of public schools.
Newburg Middle School has a fully licensed barbershop for students to get regular haircuts.
What's up, Emmanuel? You ready to get fresh today?
Ladies and gentlemen, students of Newburg Middle School, I'd like to introduce to you, in partnership with the Joe Adele Foundation, Cuts for Kids, a barbershop that is rare, that is not only for haircuts, but for educational and lifestyle growth.
It's pretty great knowing that people will be able to get their hair cut, and it will stop people from getting criticized, help raise people's self-esteem and other things.
Cuts for Kids will be an outlet for students to create relationships, have a voice, and develop confidence when walking out.
First, your hair will be like, this is too long, this da-da-da-da-da. But now that your hair is cut, you just feel great. You feel like you can take on the world. I'm in 7th grade.
Yeah, 7th grade. What's your favorite subject?
My favorite subject would be science.
The barbershop is a real foundation. It is a source of refuge. It is, in a sense, a sanctuary. It's a support system. It's a communications hub. It's a country club.
There are a number of schools that have different visions and missions. We keep it simple at Newburg. Our vision, student success. How we get there, it is all about whatever is needed to help our kids be successful.
Our school is made up of a diverse population of 21 spoken languages. Many of our students have never experienced having a haircut by a professional barber. The atmosphere of this shop will bring depth into the lives of our students while giving them tools to grow. Our students will experience a professional barbering service which will create swag, a type of confidence that will extend into the classroom and in the community, allowing our students to dream big.
Give or take, it will be a very good thing. Like, just say, for example, someone's having to go to, say, the SAC to get food, hygiene products. You need to get your hair cut. If your hair is too long and you can't do anything for it, it's going to just be a pain.
Ladies and gentlemen, Cuts for Kids.
We've got more of our favorite JCPS stories coming up. Stay tuned. I'm Elizabeth Satterly. I am graduating from Atherton High School this year, and I was in the Media Arts pathway. Welcome to Our Kids, sponsored by Jefferson County Public Schools. I'm Atherton High School correspondent Elizabeth Satterly. I feel like the Media Arts pathway really prepared me for anything that I want to go into after high school, because I learned skills like teamwork and working in a group, and then time management to meet the deadlines of our video projects, and also just responsibility like taking care of equipment, making sure everything gets turned in. I totally loved the video concentration in our Media Arts pathway, and I highly recommend it to any students. I learned a lot from it and had a great experience and great teachers.
I love being a JCPS athlete. I love the dedication in my sport.
It's just a great thing to do.
I love JCPS athletics because it teaches you about leadership. I love JCPS athletics because it gives you a sense of belonging and family.
It gives me an opportunity outside of the classroom to be with my friends and teammates and work hard.
It's fun and I get to hang out with my friends.
Our
coaches care for us.
I like JCPS sports because I like to win.
Welcome back to Our Kids. I'm Atherton High School correspondent Elizabeth Satterly. This month, we are taking a look back at some of our most memorable stories from the 2021-2022 school year.
Just download like music and you download programs for it to run, and then he'll run it.
So we're in Central and we're basically gonna reveal the new robot from Boston Dynamics.
Through the partnerships and tremendous donation of Boston Dynamics, we will mark history as being the only high school with a spot bot.
And our newest robotic family member, Reginald Champ Compton.
And it's really like mind-blowing, like to come in every day and know that we have these kind of items to play around with or like program.
He especially loves to play ball. Woo!
Teachers making engaging learning opportunities for students is what this is all about. Students coming to school, being able to do authentic learning experiences, and then show it off to the community.
Our students are ready to join the workforce. They are smart, they are the future, and we are so incredibly proud of them.
They could do lots of like tricks and stuff like that, like lots of dances. There's lost mode. It could go up the steps. It's a really big opportunity, and I feel like not a lot of students get this opportunity.
When our teachers told us that we were going to have a spot bot, we were really excited. We thought that they were crazy. But thanks to JCPS's CTE and IT teams, we have been given this excellent opportunity to learn how to work with an industry standard robot.
But really, programs such as yours will help demystify the technology and help explain to communities what these robots will do and how they can help society.
It's really expensive. It was really hard to get all the paperwork and all that stuff. It's actually very exciting. It was so crazy when Gilbert told me, my teacher. Really? Oh my God.
Let's check in at Hazelwood Elementary when students had to briefly go back to NTI during a COVID surge.
We are starting our first day of non-traditional instruction.
I have an ABC chart here with me, and you guys actually have one in your NTI folder.
We are doing a mix of both asynchronous and synchronous lessons. In first grade, it is incredibly important that students have a pencil in their hand and they're writing and putting the things that we talk about into practice. So we have some live lessons that we'll be meeting together. We're going to do some virtual guided reading.
Ice cream. And what letter starts the word ice cream?
You're going to see students engaged in personalized learning. We have students in small groups, we have students in whole group lessons, and we have students in one-on-one lessons. The teachers will engage in breakout lessons, in guided reading groups, and in math groups. And really it's just all about keeping that rigorous instruction and reviewing the standards that we have taught and keeping the students engaged in learning. Even though they're not in the building receiving the instruction, the rigor has not changed, the expectations have not changed, and so you will see what you would see if you were in this building, students engaged, having fun, building a community, and just overall the love of learning.
When people hear first grade, I think that they assume that there's probably some chaos, but they're really awesome kids, and I think that they're just excited to see everybody. So, it's part of our expectations that we find a spot that works for us at home or at daycare, wherever they are, and they stay there during that time, that we have our mics muted when we're not sharing, that we look and listen.
The biggest difference is that we all have experience, but our first through fifth grade students have been through this before, and our teachers have been through this before.
All right, thank you, Kaden, for unmuting. Aussie and Isaiah. Having a little bit of history of NTI makes it a bit easier to integrate technology within instruction in the classroom. So there's not such a big learning curve going into NTI because they've seen the things before. My students have pets, and I would have never been able to see their dog if I weren't on a Google Meet with them. And I think additionally, we wear a mask at school, so being on the computer, it's like their first time seeing my whole face. And I think that makes it kind of neat.
Learning from home during quarantine can be tough, but our deeper learning teachers are using technology to take students on fun virtual field trips.
I'm Maddie Shepard. I'm a deeper learning resource teacher in JCPS, and our team helps out with providing instruction for all of the JCPS learners that are home on quarantine. And we are at Hermitage Farm in Oldham County for a virtual field trip for some of our quarantine classrooms. What did you say the name of that slug is again? Today we streamed to kindergarten and first grade, and we were looking at living and non-living things, seeds and nuts and some of the parasitic insects that can ruin or harm some of the plants that are growing here on the farm. And then we also streamed to third grade, where we talked a lot about how weather and climate influence what things can grow when. Put it in the chat if you remember what these covers are for that we keep on these plants. See you thinking. That's right, Oliver. You got it. To keep out the parasites and bugs.
This is a cabbage worm. Ooh. And so that's the guys that's eating the foliage.
Oh no. Oh, we got some faces being made. Nice.
It's really important to us that we're providing kids high quality, engaging instructional experiences, whether they're in a JCPS facility or home on quarantine. And so one of the ways that we do that is to take our kids on virtual field trips every so often.
Any thorny or poisonous plants here?
Actually, our citrus plants are all very thorny, and their thorns can be up to an inch and a half long.
We're trying to make sure that we're putting instructional experiences in front of kids that are fun and engaging, so you're able to take care of your priorities, and we can make sure that your kids are learning whether they're in school or not.
Thanks for coming. I'm so happy to have you all here. I hope that you enjoyed your time.
Virtual reality brings the heat to Fern Creek High School fire science students. They're using technology to give more immersive and engaging experiences.
He's on the scene. We can already see some smoke and fire coming from the building.
What I went through was basically just a training, hearing the sounds of the crackling, putting out the fire with the water or foam, feeling a lot of heat because, you know, it's hot in this gear.
So virtual reality is the future of JCPS, and that future is here right now. At Fairdale, and obviously here at Fern Creek, students are training in virtual reality scenarios the same way that professionals across the country are doing it.
This VR, as the chief said, gives us an opportunity to put students in what would be traditionally a very dangerous environment into a realistic environment and let them learn about communications, let them make mistakes, change scenarios, let them experience things that we experience on the fireground.
The VR system has given us a mental and physical feeling of how to mitigate fires. It has allowed us to get a feel for how to make decisive decisions, how to be quick on our feet, and it overall instills confidence in how to solve issues that are handed in our way.
There's no way to replicate the experience of going into a burning building, the heat, the smoke, the unknowns, but we've built a safe environment for the students to train here. And because it's VR and the way this system is set up, we can transition the students in and out of the system very quickly, and they get more hands-on training than if we were doing this in a traditional way like we do out at the Fire Academy.
I really enjoyed this program because it gives you a really hands-on and interactive experience. It also gives you the opportunity to interact with firefighters firsthand and learn about what they do on a daily basis.
One of the exciting things about this program is the opportunity that these students will have coming out of school with training to be able to plug into a volunteer combination organization and start that career path without any hesitation. When students graduate, they can immediately come across the street or at other agencies surrounding us and get on an ambulance and provide that continued care and support.
Engineering students at the Brown School designed and built a custom ramp out of Legos for a student at Seneca High School.
I thought it was great. I really like Legos.
Built a Lego ramp so that he could get down one of the steps at his house to get outside, making it easier for him to just go down the ramp. And we built it out of just Legos and glue.
I'm going to use it to go down or when I go outside.
It's really cool to see how happy he is and to know that we make a difference in his life and we're making something easier, and he really enjoys it and he's really excited about it, and that's really cool to be a part of that and to have gotten to make that for him.
This is what I imagined, that it would look like a bunch of Legos and they're on a metal rod with Mario sticker.
Just to be able to show kindness to him and eventually see his reaction, and also learning math and putting that into engineering to make this ramp as safe as possible and as efficient as possible is something that we also can do.
Never give up your dream, just like I did on being an engineer. Thank you.
Students from Churchill Park School opened a coffee shop at Marion Seymour. Both schools hope to grow and expand the partnership.
We are currently at the Marion Seymour, and I work at Churchill Park School. We've recently partnered with Moore to start a coffee shop. We wanted to give our students an opportunity to work on their job skills, but in a new type of transformative way.
Excited, buddy?
We wanted to get our kids out of the building and able to work around typical peers because we're such a special school that they don't often get that opportunity. We get to serve coffee and cookies to their staff every Friday between all of their lunch periods.
Thank you.
And we've partnered with Heine Brothers to serve the coffee, so it's Heine Brothers, which everyone loves in Louisville. And the cookies are from Insomnia Cookies, which are also amazing. We're very excited for the opportunity. Our kids get to work on their communication skills.
Thank you.
As well as their money skills and just greeting and the overall just life skills.
I'm so happy to see this. It's so nice to have.
We're initially starting with our staff because it's a way for them to also fundraise and make money. So they're charging like $2 for coffee. But one thing that we've talked about is we know that once the students are here, we're hopeful that this can spiral into other ways that we can support these students and perhaps use their coffee shop as incentives for our students where we can help fund that as a school.
A lot of the job skills that our kids are often given involve like packaging and sorting and things like that, and we wanted something that's way more interactive and exciting, and you can see the immediate gratification. So for customers or a consumer type job, that's perfect.
It's awesome. Thank you very much, you guys. Thank you.
The staff have been phenomenal. They're so excited for this, for our kids to come in and to partner, and they love it, and the kids seem to love it too, and they're very curious too of our students. So,
you know, because it's been a tough year and we have all these different challenges this year, I think it's just one extra thing that they feel like that, you know, that they're getting loved on a little bit, which is important, but also the interaction with these students. I mean, you can't be with these students 2 seconds and not just your day be brightened. So we've just seen lots of smiles.
It's been a long week. It's a real great pick-me-up for all of us. 1, 2, 3.
Thanks for watching our show. You can find entire episodes on our JCPS YouTube channel. Until next time, keep supporting our kids.